go to the animals now.
I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about our morning routine, feeding the sheep and feeding the chickens. Scoop of corn, scoop of grain for the sheep, a couple scoops of dog food for the Great Pyrenees puppy, and then we get a few scoops of chicken feed as well. So this is kind of our morning routine. Right here is Trucker's little home. It's a 50-gallon drum. Feed him his food there, and he'll sneak right in there. Usually, not sure where he's going this morning. Oh, I think he's going to have his. He's way out there, little white dot. I think he's going to have his morning poop, because he will not poop where we keep the sheep. So at nighttime, we keep the sheep in this little temporary permanent pasture, because I don't want to have to take them in the barn, because I was worried about them, about any coyotes. Now they're probably big enough, but initially they weren't. So we put them in here at night, and then we let them out in their temporary pasture during the day. Hey buddy, so this is little puppy Trucker. He was born in March, and he's a big boy now, or he's getting to be a big boy. He is the friendliest dog in the world. All right, go eat your food. Go eat your food. You hungry? He just wants to say hi. So sheep need minerals, right? So inside this temporary structure, which actually we made of pallets, and I've got wheels behind it where I can pick it up on either side. These two sides right here, this side here. Get one person on either side, lift it there, and you've got the wheels right there, and we can roll it wherever we want. Right now it's in our permanent structure until we get our house built, because it's just easier right now with everything going on to leave it here, and then we move their temporary pasture every few days, kind of circling around this structure anyway. So it was made of pallets, and then I used some old tin and nailed it back on there. Hey, I'm in their sheep structure, and inside here we have their minerals. Sheep need minerals just like any other animal. We also put a couple of other things in it. We also put baking soda in it, which prevents bloat. And then we also put diatomaceous earth in it, which helps reduce the amount of worms that they have as well. So they'll just eat on that as they wish. And that's what we got in the structure. So our chicken tractor, we put them in at night, close it off in the morning. They haven't started laying eggs yet. They're about 17 weeks. One of the sheep just stepped on our dog. They're about 17 weeks old. I do start checking them this morning though. Still no eggs, but these are our nesting boxes, and we just pull them out, change the straw, or actually hay in there right now, and then yeah, go from there. This design's from Justin Rhodes, but I did change a couple things. Inside here you can see I put actually roosts on here. What they were doing, of course, is they're roosting in the chicken boxes, which nesting boxes would totally make sense. So I just put a couple roosts in here, and they roost in there quite a bit more on the roost. So that's it. This fence line, we move this fence every few days. Right now they're where the sheep used to be, and so they're eating up all the eggs or bugs that are growing on the sheep poop, and then we'll move the fencing to where the sheep are now, and the sheep will go to a new spot. Morning, Mr. Ram. A little bit of grain, sir. Hey guys, so I'm sitting here with Rocky the Ram. We got Rocky from a young couple, they're in their 30s, from Kalamazoo, Michigan. And they gave us Rocky. So they were actually bringing us through their herd, and they have, I think, like 100 sheep, at least 50 breeding ewes. And we're going through, and they're saying, we got this ram and this ram and this ram, and we almost chose the ram, which was a decent ram. And then he said, you know what, I've got one more ram, let me show you. And so there was Rocky, And Rocky's was one of the biggest, also the best formation, I feel like, ram they had. And his wife comes to her husband and she goes, weren't you gonna keep him? And he goes, well, I like cash. I like cash. So he goes, no, I'll send him. She goes, well, if you have some ewes, we want a ewe from Rocky. So I said, okay, I'll let you know. So this is Rocky. He's been part of our farm for a little over a month now. We plan on breeding our ewes in January. So ewes can actually start breeding in 9 months of age, which is like pretty young. Our ewes were born in December and January, so we're going to be breeding them in December and maybe January as well. Hopefully being able to bring them into the heat, and then Rocky will breed them. So there are 5 ewes. We're getting 2 more ewes from the same farm that we got our initial 5 from. Those won't be bred till next year because they were born in June, so it'll be a little while till we can breed them. So this fall will be up to 7 ewes and 1 ram. Sometimes I think about how financially smart was it to have sheep, right? So, I mean, Rocky cost $400, and that's a normal price for a Katahdin ram. Our ewes all cost $200, and the ones we're getting are $200 and $300 to 2 more. So it's a little price to get into. But remember, your sheep will also, when you breed them, will have 1 or even a twin. And then we'll be able to sell those for $200 to $300 as well, as long as we breed well. Another thing that we really like our sheep for is for fertilizing our field. So our plan is, our house right now is in the process of being built, and this fall we should be in our house. And it's only about a quarter mile away, and that's where we keep our garlic. That's where we have our greenhouse. These animals right now are over on my parents' property. So once our house is built, everything will go over there. I planted 8 acres of field there at where our house will be. And the reason I did that was I want to do rotation for our garlic. See, our garlic needs a 4-year rotation. You should never plant garlic in the same place the year after you planted it in that area. So I need a 4-year rotation. So what I'm doing is I have an 8-acre field, and I'll be moving the animals through that field to fertilize the field. And then every 4 years, taking a quarter of it and tilling it in and planting garlic in that area. So my sheep are really going to be used for, 1, I'll be selling the lambs. 2, I'll have some lamb for sale. Those lambs that I'm not able to sell in the spring, I'll raise to slaughter 6 to 8 months later. And then I'll also be using them to fertilize my field for my garlic. And what I use my chickens for is actually to fertilize as well. So they come in behind my sheep. So my sheep will go ahead and poop and pee, and then flies will come in, lay their eggs. You also have some worms developed on the poop, and then the chickens come in and they go ahead and eat everything that's been laid on the poop or scratch and get the bugs, and then I move them through. So sheep come through first, and then 2 to 3 days later, I bring the chickens in, do exactly where the sheep were, and they take care of it, and then we move them on through. So that's how I fertilize. That's how I'll be fertilizing my field. At least that's my plan. That's rotational grazing is what they call it. And I want to do more intensive rotational grazing, which means you put sheep in a really small spot for a short amount of time. They eat the grass down quickly, and 2 days later you move them to the next spot, and you move them to the next spot. It's a learning process, but that's what we're doing. We're also the chickens. So how we're going to make money off the chickens is the plan of eggs. We're hoping to sell organic eggs. We are not organically certified, and I think one day we will be, but right now we're able to sell all our products without going through that certification process and paying over $1,000 a year for that. So anyways, part of family time and part of videoing is also working with your kids. I have 2 boys. One's almost 4 and one's almost 2, and they do argue a lot, they fight a lot, but I'm a brother, and I remember doing that as well. And I think just getting them outside, having them spend time with us, having them learn how to work on the farm, how to take care of the sheep, how to take care of the chickens is really important too. Even if we don't make a whole lot of money on the sheep or the chickens, I'm not too concerned about that. What I do want to help really help stabilize the farm and actually pay for the farm is the garlic. That's what I'm really looking forward to, because that seems to be our real moneymaker there. So, but the biggest thing about the farm the reason we decided to do the farm was for ourselves. We love it. We love taking care of animals. We love planting crops. We love seeing how we can change gardens to make them better, more self-sufficient. But we also wanted to make sure that our children grew up understanding how to work, understanding how to take care of animals, and understanding how to grow things and being self-sufficient. So that's why we do this. And that's why we shoot video as well, to guide you and show you how you can do it as well. You don't have to have a lot of money. We have not gone in debt for any of this. I work as a full-time nurse, and I do that full-time and even overtime. And I do put a lot of money into this, hoping to get money back out of it. Our garlic right now, we invested over the last 2 years into our garlic, and right now everything that you see added to our garlic is profits from our garlic. So if you see us have a new implement for the tractor for our garlic, that's coming from our garlic. We aren't investing more. We aren't going into debt to move our garlic crop up quickly. We're actually going ahead and just allowing the garlic to pay for itself. So anyways, that's a little bit from Hillside Harvest Farm today. And I hope you guys have a great day and a great rest of your week. You take it easy.